Question, I've been saving in an UTMA account. Is that a bad idea? So the short answer is that using an UTMA to save for higher education goals is usually not your best option. Now, that is usually true for two reasons. One is that it doesn't work for families that have no chance of getting financial aid very well, and two is that it doesn't work very well for families that have some chance of getting financial aid. Now, for families that have income or net worth that's just too high to ever qualify for financial aid, they need to be saving a lot of money for college. And the limits on how much of a tax benefit you get in an UTMA account are very modest. They don't even come close to covering the annual appreciation that would be reasonable to expect over, say, an 18-year time horizon, or if you start when the kid's a little bit older, say 10, 12-year time horizon. The UTMA account just does not give you the same magnitude of tax benefit that a 529 plan does. Now, if you're in the other group of folks where you're part of a family where there's a reasonable chance that you could expect financial aid, UTMA accounts are terrible for financial aid calculations. The schools basically look at the UTMA accounts and expect a huge chunk of that money to be applied towards the child's education. The treatment of 529 plans is way more favorable. The schools expect a much smaller percentage of the 529 plan money to get used. And so you end up actually having more firepower to pay for college if you're applying for financial aid and you have money in a 529 plan versus an UTMA. So when I look at that, I'm like, UTMA doesn't work that well if you're hoping to get financial aid. UTMA doesn't work that well if you have no chance of financial aid. Like, it's not really good for anybody most of the time. And there are usually better choices available. So what I have observed is that sometimes what happens with an UTMA, and what unfortunately it can be good for, is putting clients into investments that the advisor chooses that pay a kickback to the advisor. So what we'll see funds that are paying hidden fees back to the advisor, and the advisor has sold this UTMA account with the idea that, oh, it's great because you can use it for college, but you can also use it for other stuff. And that is technically true, but it's only a small fraction of the analysis that should be done, which is to look holistically at the total return that you can expect from saving in these different accounts and thinking about the benefits of the tax treatment between a 529 and an UTMA and the differential treatment for financial aid of a 529 versus an UTMA. And usually if you run that analysis objectively, it points to the 529 plan over the UTMA. Of course, every situation is case specific, but I wanted to share that because I do see that's something that happens more often than it should. And it's an important decision when you're deciding how to save for higher education goals.